What's going on, guys?
Fine, how are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Was it for you that the front office of the Atlanta Hawks made a statement that said that the only non-tradable player is John Collins?
It was, I don't even know what to say. It was cool, just reassuring. They have faith in me, that they want me to develop, and I'm going to be part of the future. So it's definitely cool. So definitely something that I could, put a little stock into.
We're coming from Greece, and there's a former team.
Dinos!
Greetings from Dinos Middleblue.
Yeah, my boy Dinos. Hope he's doing well over back home. He's playing very well. It's like that's what I like to hear. That's my boy. Had a chance to grow with him over the last 2 years, so I'm happy to see him doing well back home.
He says the same when we ask him about you in our network in the games of Panathinaikos where he plays.
Yeah, that's my boy, man. Like I said, we had a hell of a 1-2 punch at Wake Forest. Like I said, I had a relationship, chance to build with that guy. Hell of a shooter, helped me out a lot. He was able to shoot the three, and I was able to dominate the paint. So that's my guy, Dinos.
What do you like more of his play?
I just think his versatility. Dinos could put it on the floor. He could shoot. He has a very underrated post-up game. He's just super skilled, and he has a 6'10", 6'11" frame doing all that. So big-time guy right there, man.
John, have any good story?
A lot of good stories about Dinos, man. I don't even know which one I could point out. Probably just the one time he brought me some Greek food, and it didn't go too well. But
Visit him to try it.
what's that?
You should visit Athens to try the Greek
Oh, for sure. I told him I'm coming over to Greece one of these days, and we're gonna have a little fun, man.
Hey John, what's LeBron's greatest influence in the game of basketball?
I think right now it's just the openness of the freedom of player movement. I think his ability just to have an impact on whatever he does, and for him to just be so free in the sense of just trying to make it all for the player instead of how it was previously more front office or general management heavy. Now he's kind of leveled it out to where the players have a lot more say and push. Just being able to do the things he does off the court.
Changes the free agency to collect
For sure. He has a big impact on whatever we're doing. Obviously, he's the face of the league, or been the face of the league for a while now. Like you said, with the free agency, he's kind of caused a little bit of a frenzy now. Teams are starting to target free agency a little bit different after, type of things that LeBron was able to do. So he has a huge impact on the game.
The fact that the Hawks are being progressive, they are in a developing mode. Does that help you to progress individually by the opportunities that are coming, obviously?
Of course. It's obviously been giving me a chance to, prove what I can do on the court a little bit extra time than, some other guys who are on, maybe you say, better teams or whatever the case may be, or, have other guys in front of them. I've been able to, Coach Bud has given me an opportunity, a platform to go out there and play. And I think I've done a solid job so far. Obviously, I have stuff to get better at, but just trying to develop, and I had the opportunity in Atlanta.
John, growing up, father in the Navy, mother in the Air Force, what did that mean for you as a kid?
A lot of structure and a lot of, hard-nosed, growing up. I was traveling a lot. It just gave me a different perspective on life, just the way to look at things. Like I said, coming from a dual military household, so mom and dad were always strict. In new places all the time, had to adapt. So it kind of helped me socially when I'm just talking to people and becoming the man I am today.
How satisfied are you with your level of play for this off-season?
As satisfied as I can be. Obviously there's a lot of stuff I want to get better at. Obviously I want to play to the best of my ability. But I think, for me, just at the halfway mark to see that I've made the Rising Stars game, it's kind of like a good little first stepping stone, something I can build off of, and, just want to keep getting better from there.
If you could throw down on one player on the other team tonight, who would it be?
Sorry, say that again?
You could throw down on one player on the other team tonight, who would it be?
If I could throw down on one player, what's the whole roster? I'm trying to think of the roster.
Joel?
That's a big guy.
That would be impressive.
Laurie?
Shout out to my boy Dylan.
What aspect of your game do you want to improve on for the rest of the season?
I just think my versatility, my ability to, stretch the floor, try to put the basket on the floor, try to shoot, do whatever I can, just to.
The other side.
You sure? No, I says, oh, okay, I see Joel Embiid under it. And I was like, what is this? No, but yeah.
Why aren't you in the dunk contest?
You guys got to tell me.
As the
You know,
Do you
I
expand
thought.
it, or
What's that?
do you think they should expand the field?
No, I think 4 is enough. But you know, it just comes down to the NBA choosing who they want in the dunk contest that year. So I'm going to keep dunking. That's not that's not going to change me. So hopefully they call me later on in the future. I'll accept it. But it is what it is. Stuff happens.
Can you tell us how you met Roy Hart?
One skill from a current All-Star. I'd probably take, maybe like the passing vision of like a LeBron or a James, their ability to affect the game. Having the basketball, being able to find others. It's kind of really a fun part of the game is being able to find your teammates. So definitely just their vision and their feel for making the right passes and making the right plays is something that I definitely want to add into my game. Hopefully, later on in the line.
Is it true you love wrestling?
Yeah, I do. I'm not as into it as I was, but I'm definitely still a fan.
You used to wrestle?
I used to wrestle my teddy bears and pillows and a couple of my friends on the trampoline back when I was a little kid, but never actually really wrestled. I thought the WWE was actual wrestling until I got to high school.
Did they ever win?
Oh, no. I was undefeated. I was like 50-0. I actually have like a couple real metal championship belts back at the house that I got to bring out. So those are pretty cool.
John, a lot of rookies struggle with consistency from game to game. Have you found that? And if so, what are the challenges you face bringing that same level every single game?
Yeah, it's not necessarily the play, I would say, just more the mental fatigue that comes with it. The 82-game season, the turnover for new games, the turnover for whatever the case may be. And I think, the basketball part is going to come, but it's just, being able to withstand it and try to figure out a way, that it's going to happen. You just got to attack it and push through it. And then once you attack it, you're going to feel a lot better once you come out of that slump or that streak. Because it happens to all rookies, whether it be a big one or a noticeable one or one that's not as noticeable. It happens to all of us. So.
And what's worse, getting dunked on or getting dropped on a crossover?
I would say getting dropped on the crossover because, you're going to get dunked on. Well, at least for a big man, like, I'm going to get dunked on, what I'm saying? Trying to block shots and going, it's going to happen. I think it's happened a couple times already. But you're just getting dropped and then somebody makes a shot on top of that. I mean, somebody putting you on your backside, that's always tough. Always tough.
Which player were you most excited to play alongside in this team? Are you friends with?
Obviously, Torian, my teammate, first and foremost, so that I had to get that out of the way. And then probably Donovan Mitchell. I had a chance to train with Donovan during the summer for the pre-draft. We haven't had a chance to play together again since then, so it's our first chance. So obviously we're going to try to go out there and have some fun. That's my guy. We have a great chemistry on and off the court, so he's having a hell of a year too. Looking to be Rookie of the Year.
John, a social media question. I've been in your locker room
Right.
when you guys came to Washington. Saw a lot of guys doing this on their phone, obviously checking Instagram or Twitter, and I think I saw you. So before the game, what are you on the phone? What are you on social media for? Like to relax, to get motivated, to just talk about?
Just relax. I mean, you're just trying to take your mind off the game any way you can. I actually kind of stopped doing the social media because I kind of just thought it got my mind away from other things. Actually, I watch a TV show. I watch something. I just watch something like a little video or something just to try to calm my mind down, get out of the room for a second. So when I come back, I'm totally focused and locked in.
What was distracting about social media?
I mean, you just focus on everybody else. Obviously, social media is about networking with other people. And if you aren't networking with your teammates in the locker room on social media, it's kind of difficult to try to get back and lock in. So I just try to, stop that, stop the text messages, stop the Instagram and Twitter, and just do something else just to, calm my mind down.
Last thing, does Coach Bud have like a policy against social media?
Not really. He obviously wants to just be respectful as possible, respect the game. So when it comes to game time, he wants everything away. But when it comes to just us relaxing before we get to the film or the game plans, he's okay with it.
John, like another question about your teammates, like I'm coming from Turkey, like you know, like teammates from like Turkey are from. How was your relationship with them? Also your relationship with your other teammates, like how's like the environment?
Yeah, the chemistry in Atlanta is definitely really good. I've had a chance to talk with Ersan a little bit. Ersan actually goes back and has a house back where I'm from, South Florida, and we actually train with the same trainer back home in Florida. So, we had kind of had a little bit of a bonding point the first time I met him. So, Ersan's kind of taking me under his wing, trying to teach me a couple of things. Obviously, has a little bit of a different game than mine at this point in our career. So he just tries to teach me the little things about when I'm not jumping as high, when I'm not, moving as quickly as I can, how to still be effective. So,
John,
for sure.
Can you say hi to FuBasket and all of Latin American fans of the NBA?
Yeah, what's going on, guys? It's John Collins, Latin America. Just want to say what's up from the Atlanta Hawks. What's going on?
Thank you.
No problem.
Who's your favorite to win the trophy of the Rookie of the Season? And why?
I like Donovan Mitchell right now.
Why is that?
He's been on a real crazy streak. The team's been on a 10-game win streak. I think for me, what puts that over the top is for him to start as many games as they have in the West, and for them to make the playoffs on top of what he's doing.
And from the Eastern Conference? Who's your favorite?
My favorite for Rookie of the Year? I mean, obviously it has to be Ben Simmons to me. He's a 6'10" walking triple-double. You know what I'm saying? So those two guys, it's one of those two guys. I would say Donovan, especially when they make the playoffs, it kind of puts him over the top. But, I mean, if Ben keeps on racking up those triple-doubles, it's really tough. It's kind of a toss-up.
For the slam dunk contest, your favorite one for the slam dunk?
To win?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's either one of the guards, either Dennis or Donovan. The smaller they are, the kind of better it looks when they jump. So I'll bank on one of those two guys winning it.
John, can you tell me about the first time you dunked? What that moment was like?
It was really weird the first time I dunked because it was like 8th grade summer, and I wasn't really athletic at all. And I went up and dunked, and then after that I didn't dunk for like a year or so. I couldn't, like, every time I tried, it was like basically like I barely got the ball over the rim. But that one time was like a real official dunk. Everyone went crazy. Couldn't do it again. And then the next year, just woke up. I just woke up one day, went to the gym, and it was all there. Like, I was just jumping out the gym from that point on.
Can you tell me the most trouble you got into as a child? Like maybe the angriest your parents ever were at you?
The most trouble I ever got into as a child. I mean, I guess the most trouble would be maybe getting into like a fight at school or something like that. Maybe nothing too crazy, no runs with the law or anything like that. But just maybe just a couple fights at
Did
school.
you ever steal the car or anything?
Nah, man, I was a good child, man. No car stealing stories. My mom wasn't having that. Military mom was not having that.
And then lastly, real quick, I know you said you're staying off social media a little bit more these days, but Instagram has become such a big part of the NBA culture. What's your favorite way players are using Instagram? What's your favorite part about that?
Yeah, it's kind of whenever I stay off it when it comes to just game time. That other than that, I'm on it a little bit here and there, but I mean, it's just a social networking. Now players are able to, as before, back in the day, nobody, could really interact with each other. Everybody's kind of isolated now. Social media, you're able to connect with everybody from different teams. Like, I trained with a couple guys in the summer. Now we can keep up with each other, see what he's doing, see what this guy's doing, even see what your opponents is doing. It just keeps you up to date on what everybody's doing. So it's just kind of cool to network with everyone.
John,
For sure.
Earliest NBA memory. When you think back to what locked you into the league when you were a kid, what kind of jumps out at you?
I think there's a Jordan. It's a Jordan DVD. I think it's Come Fly With Me.
Yeah.
And my mom used to have that on replay every single morning when I was like 3. I used to literally wake up. She used to have that playing for me. I watched that every single morning. I don't know. It was like my favorite. It was that or Space Jam. I would just have like those two. And so from then on, I don't know. I guess it just stuck in my head. The NBA. I just started to become obsessed with Jordan. As I got older, I saw other players: Tracy, Kobe, KG. And it just stuck with me from then on. But yeah.
Which rising star player do you think will get to the All-Star game first?
I'll say it's a Laker. If it's not Donovan Mitchell, it's going to be Lonzo, Kuz, or Brandon Ingram. I think Lonzo was almost voted in as All-Star this year, right? If I looked at the votings, I think he was pretty high up there. So I would say if it's not Donovan, it's one of the Laker boys.
John, I want to participate in our annual Rising Stars NBA Radio Spelling Bee.
Probably no, but I'll give it a shot.
All right, it's easier to harder then. So spell LeBron.
LeBron.
Spell Kuzma.
Kuzma.
Spell Dwayne Wade.
DWYANE space WADE.
You're rolling. Spell Larry Markkinen.
LAURI space MARKKEN.
Close enough. KKAN.
Ah!
How about this one? Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Nope. GINN. Oh, wait, is it GIANNIAS?
You got that one. You're all right.
GIANNIAS.
First name, you're good.
On AN to TEKUR.
Close enough. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, thank you.
You kind of answered this earlier, I think, but
That's next.
Go ahead.
You got it, Annie. What's up?
Have you let it sink in that you're here right now, and what's it like to be here with DP?
Sort of, kind of. I haven't really let it sink in all the way yet. Just kind of taking it all in. But it's definitely out here. Cool to be out here with TV. You know, someone I'm really familiar with, and my brother. Obviously, we get to share this experience together, so it's definitely pretty cool. I think it's just the whole experience in terms of being able to come out here, do the NBA Cares event, the Junior NBA, just the whole atmosphere of NBA All-Star Weekend has been pretty dope so far.
John, so I've been going around asking some of the guys. You guys are young, so you didn't really grow up while MJ was still playing.
Right.
So I'm just wondering how you consume highlights. How did you get to know that he was such a good player? I guess.
Yeah, I think the big thing to me was like I just watched all of his documentaries. I would have just do a lot of research on Jordan. I knew his stats, and I was only able to as a really really young child watch his Wizards days. So it was kind of tough for me to really let it sink in and how great he was and how much of impact he had on the game because I wasn't around then. But from what I just watched and learned and saw about what he did and how they analyzed it, I could just see it was number one. Hasn't been replicated since.
What was those like? Was it like YouTube videos? I guess when you got older, or like TV? What was like?
It's like the documentaries. I think a crazy amount of documentaries on Jordan from every aspect. Just chronicling him from high school, his high school story to going to Carolina and winning a national championship, and then, going to the league and becoming probably the most dominant. I would say the most dominant player ever. Jordan's.
So would you ask your parents for those?
Yeah, my mom always knew I was a big basketball fan, and then she bought me one, and then it just stuck ever since. I needed them all. I needed to see all of Jordan's career from when it started, just to finish it out.
What was the first one?
It was Come Fly With Me. Yeah, so like I said, I had that on repeat my mom had that on repeat for me every single morning. I just remember that fondly, just seeing Jordan, seeing greatness. I got Uncle here. Mom is back at home in Florida right now. Yeah. Oh, for sure, big time. The whole family's back in Florida, so they're gonna be gathered around the TV tonight watching.
What do you think about Dennis Schroeder's playing styles, kind of leading the team?
Oh yeah, Dennis has obviously shown he can do more than what he's done in the past. Lead a team, doing what he's doing. He's obviously proven a lot of people wrong. His ability to score the basketball, facilitate. And just really lead a team. Although we're not winning as many games as we want to, I think his ability just to buck up and be a leader, just play basketball every night in and night out has been effective.
If you go to vote for the Rookie of the Year,
Donovan Mitchell.
why over Benson?
I just think his play has been more consistent. Ben has had he had a hot start. He had a nice little middle, but just kind of been a couple dead spots here and there. And I think Donovan just been hot and stayed hot. But then on the other hand, you got a 6'10" point guard, a walking triple-double.
You wouldn't consider voting for yourself?
I would, but, if we're being realistic, what I'm saying? Got to give one to one of those guys.
What's your greatest accomplishment so far in the first 60 games of your career?
I just think it's being here. Obviously this is a big accomplishment. A lot of rookies in the league, a lot of second-year guys in the league, and for them to pick me for the U.S., especially the U.S. team, there's so many guys. So it's definitely a big accomplishment for me. Just got to keep hooping and, continue to play the way I play.
As a Atlantan now, who's your favorite hip-hop artist from the ATL?
It was my favorite, one of my favorite before. It was top 3. It's Young Thug. Young Thug has been my guy for a minute, even before I got to the A. So, I shot the Thugger.
John, can you show us your favorite emoji face?
What is my favorite emoji face? It's probably the stale face. So it's like the what face. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the one I use most.
Mom been able to see you play in person a lot this year?
Yeah. She actually likes to come to a lot of the away games. Yeah, she likes to travel. My mom loves to travel, so she obviously she went at all the Florida games. She comes to some of the Charlotte games. She thinks we used to live in Washington. Excuse me. So she came up to the Portland game. So yeah, she likes to travel a little bit. So she's been to a lot of the games.
You mentioned the big guys in the competition on the U.S. team. One of the guys, Bam Adebayo, just the battles with him thus far. What they've been like.
Yeah, Bam's physically really imposing. As a young guy. So whenever we have those battles, we had a chance to battle it out in the pre-draft process. With a couple teams workouts with him. So we had built kind of a cool relationship where we're cool off the court, but I think him and I compete probably the hardest against each other when it comes to just rookies against rookies. So obviously I have a unique relationship with Bam. We can play each other 4 times a year, so good to see a lot of Bam.
Any predictions for this season's MVP?
I would say right now it would be James. You know what I'm saying? I think they're first in the West right now. He's able to lead his team. I would give it to James for the rest of the year. I think he kind of got overshadowed last year by Russell having those triple doubles every other day. So and this year he should be able to pull it out.
And what did you have for dinner last night?
What did I have for dinner last night? Wow. I think I had some grilled chicken breast, spinach, a side of French fries, and some broccoli. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot to take in, especially being out in LA for my first All-Star experience. It's definitely something that's pretty dope in its own sense, just to see all the superstars. All right. Just to see all the superstars and see all the guys out here, all the big-time names. It's definitely dope, and for me to be in one of the games out here, puts the icing on the cake. Not just to come out here just to celebrate the weekend, to come out here and be a part of the weekend. It's even better.
Were you disappointed not being in the dunk contest?
Was that?
Were you disappointed not being named in the dunk contest?
A little bit, but when I see the roster, I mean, I understand why it is what it is. But not being in a dunk contest isn't going to stop me from dunking. I'm going to keep dunking, keep doing my thing, and hopefully they give me a call up another time. But a little bit, not too much though.
And who do you think will win, or who do you want to see the most tomorrow?
It's going to be one of the ACC guys. It's going to be Dennis or Don. I think it looks a little better because they're guards when they jump. Looks like they jump a little higher. They got a bunch of stuff. Dennis's vertical's ridiculous, and then Donovan with those spider arms he has definitely pull something out the bag. And it'll be fun.
Being a South Florida guy, seeing what happened this week with the shooting, just
yeah.
Emotional reaction to that.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was a real shock for me. I never expected something like that to happen. Obviously, I know a couple people that are affected by that tragedy down there, man. You never like to see something happen like that. You just pray. You got to say your prayers, send your condolences out to the victims, and definitely, calling my mom, calling her, asking her, what's the mood like down in South Florida? Because something like that I think just taints the whole mood of all of South Florida, and especially Parkland. So, prayers to them, for sure.
Did you know anybody?
Not personally, but I probably know somebody who was a friend or had a son or daughter or whatever was affected by it, for sure.
How important is junior NBA to the game of basketball?
It's really important, man. I've never had something like junior NBA when I was growing up, so for them to implement something like this is definitely dope, and definitely hope to see it come to fruition, gets bigger and bigger.
What are some of the challenges you faced on your way to the NBA?
Just to struggle to really figure out if I wanted to do it, and to really figure out if I had enough, pull, I had enough energy or fight to get there. It's really a big decision you got to make. A lot of dedication, and it's still unsure whether you could get drafted. It's not up to you. Obviously, you draft yourself number one if you could, but it's just all about trusting in yourself and trying to make it happen.
What does it mean for you to be a part of this weekend?
It's definitely dope. Like I said before, it's cool just not just come out here just to celebrate the weekend, but to actually come out here and be a part of the weekend. In the Rising Stars game is something that's pretty dope. Just here to celebrate and have a fun time. Hopefully, get this dub tonight.
Are there any particular legends you hoping to meet or speak to out here?
I wouldn't say anybody in particular, but just just to experience it, just to see the atmosphere, just to see all of the legends, see all the current All-Stars, just to mingle and be a part of the weekend. That's probably my biggest thing, just to actually have a full experience of All-Star Weekend out in LA, which is a pretty dope place to have.
John, do you have a favorite emoji on social media?
Probably the stale face emoji, like the serious one, the one where it's like the serious face, it's a straight line. Yeah. Like what? That's probably.
When do you use that?
What's that?
When do you use that one?
A lot. There's a lot of crazy stuff on the internet, man. So I kind of throw that one out there a lot, just to be like, come on now, like what is this? That type of stuff.
What are you gonna do for the All-Star break if you weren't selected for this?
Either be back home in Florida or somewhere on an island, trying to just get away, just take a break. But obviously, I've been blessed enough to be selected to come out here, so gotta take this advantage while I got it.
We're in LA.
Ridiculous. Of course, man. This rookie class is ridiculous, from top to bottom, even to the second round. When you look at it, a couple second rounders in the draft the years before could have went first round easily, with the level of play that they've been playing with now. So definitely something I take into account. I'm kind of proud just to be in this draft. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, from top to bottom, this draft is loaded. So for me to be in there and then obviously get selected into the Rising Stars game, that takes first and second year guys into account, shows that I'm doing the right things. Of course, I think being in the situation that I'm in, getting drafted a little bit later, and being in Atlanta, we're kind of in a little bit of a rebuilding stage right now. So I definitely think my play is a little bit overshadowed, but it all comes in time. I'm not trying to rush it. When it comes, it'll be there, and they'll know when they know.
We're in LA this weekend. You play ball in Atlanta. Who's the best looking celebrity you've met in person?
Man, you trying to get me in trouble. To be honest with you, I haven't really met that many celebrities in Atlanta, to be honest with you.
Who's the coolest you've met?
I gotta give it up to 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz definitely got a lot of swag. He's always on the bench with his son, dripped up. Got the best fit on, looking swag. Yeah. Oh, hey man. Shout out to 2 Chainz, man. That's my guy. I like A Boogie, Logic. Logic is Logic probably my favorite rapper. I'm still listening to Lil Uzi. Young Thug is my top three. And then I gotta throw my South Florida guy Rose in there. Kodak. Shouts out to Kodak. Free Kodak. Free Kodak.
Is making an all-rookie team a goal of yours?
Of course.
Is it first team? Is it second team? Is it either?
Obviously, you want first team, but just being nominated for any team would be dope. So for sure.
2 more. John, are you going with Donovan for the dunk contest?
Yeah, I'll take Donovan. I'll take one of the HTC guys, either Donovan or Dennis, to win the dunk contest.
What was your reaction though when you see or express that birthday icing on Times Square?
Yeah, that was
really big.
That was huge, man. I never would have expected something like that to happen this early in my career. So, like I said, shouts out to Express, putting all 4 of us up there. Definitely super, super, super dope.
All right, last one.
Good?
Thanks, guys.
Oh!
I feel like, oh man.